Discover Dogs is just around the corner, and I'm joined by Caroline Kisco, the Kennel Club Secretary, to have a chat about just what we can expect to see. Caroline, second year in Earls Court 1, so lots more space again.
Yeah.
What can we expect to see happening there?
Well, I think this year Earls Court is really going to be filled. We did have a lot of extra space last year, which was wonderful to have, but I don't think we expected to have quite so much available space because we've been so used to squashing everything into Earls Court 2. We have quite a lot of new things this year, one of which is to put sort of booths that talk about how you buy a puppy. I don't mean the booths will, but the people in them will. How to buy a puppy will be in surrounding in the area of Discover Dogs themselves, so that amongst the breed booths where all of the people are there with their dogs, we will also have little booths that with lots of information for people. So we're kind of doubling up on a lot of things that normally we would have had there anyway, but we will make it much more available for people. Much
Easier for people to get the right information.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, if you go and you know that you're after particular breeds, you might go around the rest of the stalls as well and talk to the other dogs and the other breeds. But the chances are that you'll home in on the breeds that you're very interested in, and you might not pick up all of the information that we would really like people to have.
Yep. And of course, lots about activities, people can see agility, they can see heel work and music, the junior handling final, of course. So just an awful lot to see of the things that you can do with your dog.
And that's really the focus of Discover Dogs. It is about making sure that you buy the right breed for you. It is about how to look after your dog, but it is also very much about all of the things that you can do with your dog. And as you say, all of those things are on view. You know, whether you want to show your dog, you want to work it, you want to do obedience with it, whether your dog is a pet or not makes no difference. Your dog is first and foremost your pet, and all of the things that we can all do with our companions are manifold. I mean, there are just so many different things. What we want to do is to be able to show those to people, so that not just all of those of us who are steeped in the dog world are aware of all of those things, but all of the pet owners as well can learn about them.
And I mean, every year Discover Dogs gets bigger, more people come along to it. You must be really pleased that in central London you get such a response to dogs.
I think that's the great thing about it, because you know, when Crufts moved out of the capital, there really was nothing major to do with dogs there in the capital, apart from obviously there's some fantastic things that Battersea do and so on, but to actually have a big event that surrounds dogs was to us an important focus, because when you are in the capital it does mean that you get more media interest for a start, because it's easy for them to come along. We do get a lot of press turnout, and it means that we have the opportunity to really sell dogs to lots of different audiences, and having the audience grow in the way that it has done, the visitor numbers grow, I think is fantastic.
Which is why you're now in Earls Court 1, of course, rather than the small Earls Court 2.
Yeah.
The enthusiasm as well from the breed people, because they're there 2 days, entirely voluntary capacity, their own dogs. The information they supply is fantastic.
They really make the show, because without those, as at Crufts, you wouldn't have the exhibition. Those dogs and the breeders, the people who come along that talk to people, they are absolutely essential. The fact they give up their time, they give up their whole weekend, as you say, the amount of information that they come armed with, and I think it's fascinating, because we all know that once you have a breeder dog and you're really enthused by them, you actually spend more time trying to put other people off than trying to turn them on to your breed. And yet Discover Dogs is about exactly that, about making sure that people do buy the right breed. And I understand why people do that, because you do want to make sure that anybody that's coming inquiring about your breed is genuinely the right person for the breed.
And that they understand exactly what they're going to be getting at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
That's great. Which of course is what's wonderful about pedigree dogs, because you actually know what you're getting at the end of the day.
That is the huge difference between any pedigree and any crossbreed or mixed breed, you do know what you're going to get. And it is why I know people are nervous of the designer crossbreeds, because in the end you can't be certain which breed will dominate in the final mix, and neither can you be certain as to whether or not there will be any clashes in terms of the inbred temperament and personality of one breed with the other, or even in terms of more practical things like their coat type.
Yep. I suppose Kennel Club making a difference for dogs, at Discover Dogs you're making a difference for the puppy buyer.
Well, I hope so, because that's really what it's about. It's about making sure that anybody that's interested in buying a dog comes along and gets the right information. One of the things that we're introducing this year is actually a series of lectures. They are intended to, I think they're called seminars actually rather than lectures.
Same thing.
Less formal. But the idea is that people can come along and find out about all sorts of interesting things. I mean, we've got Tellington Touch. We've got, obviously, we'll be talking about the accredited breeder scheme, about feeding your dog, and so on. So lots of interesting subject matter, and I think it's a great opportunity for anybody that is interested. They're all short, so it's not something you're going to sit and think, oh, why did I come in here? I'm now going to fall asleep. It's really, I think it's going to be really good stuff, and it's a great opportunity, I think, for people to learn even more about dogs, even if they're experienced dog owners. There's new things that they can learn.
That's good, excellent. And anything else? Anything that we should be looking out for? Anything that you would personally recommend?
Well, I mean, my personal recommendations are always based on things like the Golden Retriever display. I just love them.
Yep.
And there are certain displays that, although they come along most years, I think that they are just so watchable, things that you can go back and watch every year. But there are some real golden moments as well, and no pun intended, but there are some lovely things that we have every year, like the Junior Warrant competition. I mean, that's very, you know, we start to look on Discover Dogs as being all about fun, and that is exactly right, and it's what dog showing is meant to be about. But it is also to showcase, as we've said before, all of the different things you can do with your dog. Junior Warrant is a great example of that.
Yep. That's good. So 13th and 14th of November, we'll all be there. Good luck, and I hope it's as successful as ever.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Caroline.